Everybody, it's Erai Beckmann here, founding partner of Peace Through Trade, and we're live. Now, today we're going to be checking out the speech that Elon Musk just gave at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, alongside Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, arguably some would say the most powerful financial men in the world, next to only the President of the United States of America. Now, Elon has said some pretty interesting things. It's always interesting and entertaining to watch the WEF forum every year because you have some of the biggest people in business, in finance, and world leaders coming together. It's great to know what they're thinking, what they think's coming, and how we can help participate and be a part of that and prepare. Now, Elon has said some very interesting things. I'm just going to check on the team here, make sure everything's working perfect. He said he's an alien. He said there's a lot of abundance incoming. And he also has talked so far in what I've listened to already about robots and how automation and AI are coming. And he's giving some really practical examples. So without further ado, we're going to screen share here with you guys. So check this out. Give me one sec. Okay. I'll pull it up for you guys here in a second. Okay, I got it right here. So, browser. Okay, there we go. Sorry guys, taking a minute here. Should have already been all ready to go, just to hit go here. Okay, here we go. So we're working on this browser source for y'all. Nope, that didn't work. Shoot. Give me one sec. All right. All right, anyways, I'm going to play it for you so you guys can hear the volume, the audio in the background. Check out what Elon Musk has to say about robots, which is pretty cool.
Solving global poverty or an alien spaceship. So, like, I don't know. Bottom line is, I think we need to assume that life and consciousness is extremely rare, and it might only be us. And if that's the case, then we need to do everything possible to ensure that the light of consciousness is not extinguished, because we're effectively the way I view it is, the image in my mind is of a tiny candle in a vast darkness, a tiny candle of consciousness that could easily go out. And that's why it's important to make life multiplanetary, such that if there is a national standard of living. I think the only way to do this is AI and robotics.
There we go. Here he goes.
Which doesn't mean that it is without its issues. I mean, we need to be very careful with AI. We need to be very careful with robotics. We don't want to find ourselves in a James Cameron movie.
Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, well, so it's really interesting to see all the things that have happened today and over the previous days at the World Economic Forum.
Has a great future.
Elon basically says, he shares really practical examples of how robots are going to be able to help us improve our lives. One of the first examples he gives was that, or is rather, in the future with elderly care. As an example, it's not easy for people to take care of their elderly loved ones. Larry points out that it's also not inexpensive. Well, with robots, we could be doing it where people could be helping to take care of them 24/7. They won't get sick. They won't get tired. They won't, need to take days off as a result of normal, situations today as humans, and they'll be able to do that work for us. So he even says, which is really cool because we say this all the time with Peace Through Trade, it will uplift the quality of life for all humanity. And that's our goal here at Peace Through Trade. So it's such an exciting time to be alive. And unlike the doom and gloom, and I know a lot of fear because of the famous movie, The Terminator by James Cameron, a fellow Canadian, that a lot of us think of when we associate with AI in the future, it's actually turning out to be, if you listen to Elon Musk and his presentation today at the WEF, or if you listen to Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA's most recent podcast with Joe Rogan, a lot of these guys are saying it's actually going to open up the most abundant time we've ever had for humanity. So I'm going to screen share this YouTube link here for you guys now. I'll work on this for you so you can see it here while I'm presenting. Let's see if you guys can see this. Okay, check this out. This is pretty cool. You guys should be able to see that.
That was not a large applause. Start again. That's better. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna make this interesting.
How many quotes are you going to want that are going to be after this session?
I don't know. I mean, 5.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see everybody here. It's been an amazing week here in Davos. Hopefully everybody saw that we are having conversations here. Hopefully everybody agrees. There are some conversations that we may disagree. There's many conversations that we may have agreed, but through those conversations, and I think today's result with a peace agreement earlier today, the World Economic Forum is here to have those conversations.
Peace agreements, that's pretty cool.
And also resolution.
So that's referencing a very recent project that Donald Trump has done, where
to have Elon Musk here. He came all the way from California to be here to see all of you. So thank you, Elon.
You're most welcome.
There we go.
I heard about the formation of the Peace Summit, and I was like, is that PIEC? A little piece of Greenland, a little piece of.
We got one.
All we want is peace.
Okay, I'm going to, as I said, I'm a pretty proud CEO of BlackRock since we went public. The compounding return of BlackRock to our shareholders was 21%. Since Elon took Tesla
listen to this.
Public, his compounded return is 43%.
43% per year of compounded return if you bought stocks in Tesla.
More citizens should be investing.
And BlackRock, one of the most successful investment funds in human history, was about 20-ish%.
With Elon, when Tesla went public, and how much return would all the pension funds that invested side by side.
And Europe needs help economically. So what Larry's saying here is, imagine if the pension funds of Europe actually went into projects like Tesla and the prosperity that could have brought to Europe.
That's a good measurement.
Well, we have an incredible team at Tesla, and that's the reason.
So I want to get into the dirt, the meaningful component about technology, the possibilities. I want to talk about AI and robotics, energy, space, and the progress ultimately coming down to engineering discipline, scale, execution, and few people, if not anyone, has the experience and the fortitude to confront these issues head on. Not just the ideas, but the execution across so many different technologies, Elon, and that's why I thought it was important for us to have this dialogue here in Davos. So you're presently building on AI, on robotics, on space, on energy, all at the same time. When you look across those efforts, what do they have in common from an engineering standpoint?
Well, they're all very difficult technology challenges, but the overall goal of my companies is to maximize the future of civilization, like basically maximize the probability that civilization has a great future, and to expand consciousness beyond Earth. So if you take SpaceX, for example, that SpaceX is about advancing rocket technology to the point where we can extend life and consciousness beyond Earth, to the moon, to Mars, eventually to other star systems. And I think we should always view consciousness, life as we know it, as precarious and delicate, because to the best of our knowledge, we don't know of life anywhere else. You know, I'm often asked, are there aliens among us? And I'll say that I am one, but
Or you're from the future?
they don't believe me.
Okay.
I think if anyone would know if there are aliens among us, it would be me. We have 9,000 satellites up there, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spaceship. So, like, I don't know. Bottom line is, I think we need to assume that life and consciousness is extremely rare, and it might only be us. And if that's the case, then we need to do everything possible to ensure that the light of consciousness is not extinguished, because we're effectively, the way I view it is, the image in my mind is of a tiny candle in a vast darkness, a tiny candle of consciousness that could easily go out. And that's why it's important to make life multiplanetary, such that if there is a natural disaster or a man-made disaster on Earth, that can't.
Okay, we should be here now. You guys should be able to see my screen. And here we go. So now you guys should be able to see my screen. And here we go. Here we go. Let's turn this off for now. Okay, there we go. So that's me. And now you can see my screen. Okay. So then what I want to do is I want to take my screen capture down like this. Stand by, guys. It's taking a moment. There we go. So that we can look at it together. And you can see me at the same time. Here you go. Boom. Okay, so let's check this out together. And now we can do this, and I can pause it, and I can go through it with you guys. So here's...
If not anyone has the...
I wanted to show you this part.
If that's the case, then we need to do everything possible to such that if there is a natural disaster or give everyone a very high standard of living. The robotics and AI, this is really the path to abundance for all.
There we go.
If you say, people often talk about.
So robotics and AI, how cool is this? The world's wealthiest man, visionary founder, possibly one of the smartest human beings ever alive, unless he is, of course, an alien. Or if that means we're all aliens, because technically if there were aliens on other planets, I guess we would be aliens. I think that's probably his joke there. Says that the robotics and AI, not only is it not, this is the part I wanted to share with you guys, this doom and gloom, overwhelming scenario like Terminator or everyone's going to be out of a job. He's actually saying he thinks it'll usher in a greater experience of abundance than we've ever had before. It's pretty cool.
Solving global poverty, or essentially how do we make give everyone a very high standard of living. I think the only way to do this is AI and robotics.
It's pretty cool, right? Because, and blockchain, the only thing I would add to what Elon's missed there is blockchain. That's why I've heard rumors and rumblings for years that he wants to do his own thing, integrate it into X. That would be epic. Blockchain is just the rail that will allow for the commerce and data in alignment with AI and robotics to bring about a higher quality of life and living. Because think about it, it's hard to get construction into certain places. It's hard to get help in disaster relief. It's hard to remove pollution, let's say, in the way in which we really want to. With AI and its capacity to analyze data and help us make decisions will speed things up and make more complex things easier and faster than ever before. Robotics will allow work that we don't want to be doing or that's hard or difficult to be done by robotics. It'll get better at doing more complex work over time. Elon, before this interview, just recently said that robotics will become even better, as an example, at advanced surgery than humans have ever been, and he'll be able to produce so many of them that I heard another financial analyst comment that in the future, Tesla won't even be remembered for having made electric cars because their robotics will be so, Optimus Prime will be so advanced and prevalent in our lives and all of society that we'll know them as a robot manufacturer predominantly. That's what one financial analyst was saying. And it becomes so cool if you think about it, because now we can have robots. Not that we want to remove the real human element where we don't want to do it, but the fact is we could have robots teaching our children in a way that's more effective than ever before. In terms of their knowledge set, they'll know more than any one human eventually has ever been able to know. Or they could help human teachers. You could even have them when they're so capable walking us through the forest and giving us guided tours, or out there protecting nature and reforesting. One of the videos that we just shared that went the most viral ever that we've ever had on Instagram was a robot actually already going around in China. It's a solar powered, battery operated robot, and it's planting trees. And it's planting trees 24/7, more so than any human could ever do it before, in grids that are, organic and sustainable for the environment. And it's reforesting deserted areas in China. So it's pretty cool.
Which doesn't mean that it is without its issues. I mean, we need to be very careful with AI. We need to be very careful with robotics. We don't want to find ourselves in a James Cameron movie, Terminator. He's got great movies. I love his movies, but we don't want to be in Terminator, obviously. If you have ubiquitous AI that is essentially free or close to it, and ubiquitous robotics, then you will have an explosion in the global economy, an expansion in the global economy that is truly beyond all precedent.
Elon, can that expansion be broad?
Yes.
Or is it narrow? And how can that be created? How can it broaden the global economy?
Yeah, a way to think of it is that if you have a large number of humanoid robots, the economic output is the average productivity per robot times the number of robots.
Right.
And actually, my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots in AI that they will actually saturate all human needs. Meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point.
It's pretty cool what he's saying. He's saying that it's going to get so inexpensive, so easy for us to make so many of them. It'll be like a Japanese anime film where maybe they're helping you wash your hair in the morning, groom yourself, cut your hair, for ladies doing their nails, cosmetics, to driving the cars or operating those systems, to doing the trash cleanup on the streets, to building the high rises as you walk outside. The future is endless and limitless. And now imagine, this is where Elon's brain goes, which is why it's so entertaining and so fascinating to watch him. Now he's imagining these robots being able to build spaceships better and faster to travel greater distances than ever before. So it's a pretty exciting world. This is our first live stream. We're pushing live on a number of platforms right now. So wherever you're watching this, If you want to be a part of the solution, we're focused Peace Through Trade on blockchain and AI, and that intersection now, as laws are coming into place, where we can help the planet and our fellow members of the human family that need our help the most. Humanity needs our help. The planet needs our help. And we believe that blockchain is going to empower more trust and more funding and more opportunities to make that help a reality faster and on more of the planet than ever before. So if you want to be a part of that change, increasing the quality of life for all humanity, just like Elon said, and making it a better planet along the way, you're in the right place. Smash that like button, join our community, and stay tuned for the next one. God bless everyone. My name is Erai Beckmann, founding partner here of the Peace Through Trade, blockchain, and AI. Be well.